I'm extra excited for this one. It's not going to take long to figure out why. But let me first introduce, in the red, the Terran player in the top right, Ancient Cistern. We have Gumiho, the last mech Terran, the last one who truly embraces it on a regular basis. But he's going to be hard-pressed to do so against the best player from the United States of America. It is the Battle Mage, Astrea. I've heard great things about this series, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. And if you're always looking forward to seeing good games for the fans, make sure to like and subscribe. Jimmy, what are we? Just tell me the number. Okay. 1,039 likes. If we get 1,039 likes on this video, on this cast, I'm going to cast another series. And I'll probably do it anyways. But thank you guys for tuning in for Gumiho versus Astrea. I'm going to give a little bit of spoilers. I try not to spoil too hard, but at the end of the day, one of these players ends up complimenting the other directly for their strategies and their execution in-game because they get so thoroughly beaten that they can't do anything but show respect. But already starting out, both players battling out. Couple Stalkers versus Hellion and some Marines. So far, Astrea looks like he's gotten the better of the exchange, which is not hard to do when you haven't lost anything. Gumiho ends up losing 3 Marines. The amount of effort Terran players will put into not building a bunker at the natural is a bit obscene, in my opinion. Like, if you build a bunker, while it's not the perfect defense against Stalkers, it certainly goes a long way to blunting their effectiveness, especially in these kind of fighting back and forth, cost-effective battles. But Gumiho doesn't opt for the bunker. He actually opts for Cloaked Banshees to kick things off. A spicy play, to say the least. As going blind Cloaked Banshee against someone... What did he spot? He spot the Robo. He spotted the Robo, is actually how past tense works. But very tense, this situation, as... Wait, how much info did he get? The issue with going Cloaked Banshee against this is, one, obviously there's detection. And two, the Banshees come in right around the timing when a Widowmine drop usually would. And require the same defenses, like an Observer, Blink Stalkers, all good in this case. Widowmine drop usually hits 4:30, maybe 5 minutes, depending on the map, depending on the player. So the Cloaked Banshees coming in against a fully prepared set. It seems like Astrea noticed it. Oh my god. Well, he's definitely going to notice it now. He noticed something. He's sending most of the Stalkers across the map, but even if he didn't know it was a Banshee, only 2 Stalkers back at home makes me think he did. Yeah, Gumiho always trying some extra shenanigans early, especially when it comes to those early mech Terran units. But this time around, the Banshee just gets shut down. Couple probes. Now Gumiho going to be stuck back in his base for a while as Astrea gets his 3rd. Second Banshee pre-cloaks. Working towards the natural. Astrea microing both fronts right now. He's got already enough to defend against the Banshee. Boxing out. Oh, you can blink over that? Oh, that's so sick. Oh, beautifully done. Catches one of the Banshees. And the other one kind of pinned back at home. You can't recall it, unfortunately. Another unfortunate event, though. Astrea gets his Observer sniped off by some Marines. Of course, with the Raven for detection. Raven always a solid choice. Double Forge for Astrea. The Observer still patiently waiting for the Banshee to make a move. The Stalkers less patiently, as you can tell here. Not the most patient creatures. Double Forge, Extended Thermal Lance, Charge on the way, and Colossi in production for Astrea, whereas Gumiho is opting for pretty much everything you can be getting right now in the early mid-game for Terran. He's got the Armory on the way, a 2nd Engineering Bay, a 3rd Command Center, Barracks 4 and 5, Stim +1, and Combat Shield are about 30 seconds out, and the first 2 medevacs will join the production tab along with a couple Marauders. So, your standard fare here for Terran mid-game. Full-on bioproduction, as much as I'd love to see it, mech just doesn't really have the effectiveness against Protoss most of the time. Just getting factories costs gas, which really slows down your ability to put any pressure on the map, and that is why we rarely see it against Protoss, especially a very active one who's sitting outside your base, essentially denying the third unless you have the units to go take it. So 1-1 done. Combat shield as well. Astrea's getting his upgrades, filling out the tech tree here. 6 more gateways. In fact, all this was done off 2 gates. I love this. A beautiful setup here. Maybe taking some notes from Classic, who just recently was showing off some really sick Protoss versus Terran against Beyond. And has a very particular way of setting up his gateways. Making sure you got those backup pylons. Honestly, can help defend the main, or at least box out some of the drops. I think is one of the most important parts, yet unsung skills of Protoss players, is setting up your pylons and your gateways in the right spot is very important, yet easily overlooked attention to detail. Alright, Phoenix heading towards the main. Hallucinated Phoenix. Getting a look around. Maybe could have been used for a blink up, but more than enough siege tanks would deter the blink stalkers. That's not happening right now. 1-1 nearly done for Astrea. He's got not a 4th, but a 5th base in production. Gravitic Drive, 2-2 started. Gumiho already has +2 infantry weapons. It has been a bit of a passive few minutes ever since the Banshees. Astrea poking and prodding and constantly looking to see what Gumiho's up to. And Gumiho, well, a bit less curious intellectually, as he has not been able to move out on the map. The only vision he's had has been in the back left corner with the Banshee, and of whatever Astrea strayed into his vision with. So, overall, oh, the Raven! The Raven uses the anti-armor missile, tries to get some use out of it, and actually lives. Scan spots the army behind it. Base itself, still very well entrenched, but Astrea just feels like he's spun up his production. He's been booming, as they say in Age of Empires. He's been spending most of his time and his effort and his resources on building up infrastructure and economy. And now, well, he's good to go. Double row on the way behind it. Gonna complement with 3. 2-2 upgrades. There's almost no reason for Astrea not to go forward now. Ooh, missile turret, but Gravitic Drive keeps the Prism alive. Trying to drag Gumiho out of position. Will be successful so far. Scrambles 1 Colossus. Does he have energy for more? I don't know. He does, but splits off a few Zealots. I can't believe this worked. He gets it into the main. There wasn't a response. Not in time. Auto turret underneath the Prism. Gumiho stims back, desperate to deal with it, but Astrea is slicing into the... No, that's it. He just sliced into the 3rd and cut down all the SCVs while he was chopping through the main. He clove him in twain. Wow, that was abrupt. Okay. Well, I guess we're moving on. Gumiho kind of just died to Astrea's maxed out attack. He had the unit composition he wanted. I don't even think he had 2-2 by the end, but he saw an opportunity. He took it. Well, a decisive well, decisive was good enough. All right, I'll stick with decisive. Decisive game 1 for the American Protoss, putting him up to a 1-game lead, going into Neo-Humanity. Game 2. Yeah, Gumiho just never really got anything going. I feel like the Banshees... I don't think going for the wrong opener like that is going to set you behind for the entire game, but it can. And it's very hard for Terran, and especially Terrans who aren't of the micro caliber of Beyond and End of List, to break out against a very active Protoss on the map. Astrea was not constantly attacking, but the Blink Stalkers were sitting right outside the base. He had observers. Gumiho couldn't take a step outside without 14 Stalkers getting wind of it. So, really feels like you're pinned back into your base. And that means you have nowhere to retreat to. Gumiho falls back a little bit in order to deal with the Prism, and 3rd's wide open. Zealots come swinging in. Astrea just beautifully done, executed right there. Kind of felt like a ladder game almost, where both players will do their build and then one player is clearly better at it, but I'm sure Gumiho has a little more up his sleeve. Probe tries to hide. Reaper. He knows how sneaky probes are. He's a very sneaky unit himself. Reapers have a very high sneak factor. The sneakiest units do not wear sneakers. Okay, Reapers have a jetpack, probes, levitate, or hover, whatever. So. That's all I got for that. Both known as sneaky units. Dark Templar, yes. I imagine Dark Templar wear, like, the Protoss version of moccasins. Like, they got some nice, like, leather. Very comfortable, I'm sure. Actually, no, I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe just Zeratul gets those. I bet all the other Dark Templar get, like, the old hand-me-down moccasins. And I'm glad we could discuss this, because that really helps me segue into nothing in particular, so that way I just have to completely reset and talk about how a Stargate is the choice from Astrea. An Oracle this time around. Gumiho, building his command center on the high ground, loses a Marine. The Adept, trying to take as many with him as he could, which is a bit suspicious. As why are you trading the Adept at this stage? Well, one, I think the Adept was going to die anyway, so he's trying to get the kills, but also the best reason to be trading the Adept is to lower the Marine count before an Oracle comes in, because if you have more than 5 or more Marines, you can pretty easily deal with the Oracle. Well, the Oracle's spotted by the Reaper. And now we play everyone's favorite game. Find the Widowmine. There is one Widowmine on this screen. Not the one building in the factory, by the way. Can you spot it? Will Astrea? Oh, well, another mine. He dives in, looking for more Marines. Okay, well, spoilers. Here it is. Sneaking behind it. A classic spot. Astrea knows exactly where that mine could be hiding. If it wasn't there, it'd be pretty easy to see the indentation. He knows there's widow mines. He saw the timing on the factory, or he's very reasonably sure. Yep, mines are picked up into the medevac. Still a danger. Another probe. Gunned down. But the Oracle will get revenge for them. How many Oracles? Just the one Oracle. Kind of crazy. Astrea, the Stargate has been explicitly for that one Oracle now. Though maybe a Phoenix wouldn't be a bad idea, considering the medevac was spotted and bruised by a few stalkers on the flight by. And with that much damage dealt, oh yeah, he's zoned out the medevac, and now we'll build a Phoenix to try to hunt it down. Though Astrea got to be careful he doesn't abandon the defense. I really am loving the attention. All right, knowledge is power. Astrea keeps sending out probes to scout, but unfortunately, oh my god. Ooh, that was beautiful. That was actually incredibly well done. I was pretty, and he gets the medevac on the way out. He gets 2? He gets the shot. Ooh, ends up losing a few more stalkers than he probably should have. Definitely less than he could have. Little Mines did get some shots off here. Astrea has diffused the situation for the most part. Gumiho only has 40 SCVs behind this, and he just started his 3rd command center. So as long as Astrea holds on to his 3rd Nexus, he's still in pretty good shape in this game. There's no vision on those mines. He's trying to blink out. Nexus shields are gone. Tank, a real and present danger, and he's just going to give up the Nexus. A bold move. And Stasis Ward will be spotted. Will he actually kill it in time? This is a bit awkward. Fun fact, the Marine doesn't quite kill the Stasis. Gets a tank. Yeah, get out. Get out. He's already called it. Astrea in trouble here. Will he? Oh no, the Oracle lit up to kill that one Marine that somehow... He knows it's there, right? Pretty sure he... Did he notice he was shooting at it? I'm very surprised he's not triggering the stasis again. Revelation. The army's kind of pinned back here. So, not incredibly great position for Astrea. Look at the supply. 94 to 70. It's still a pretty difficult fight here. Picks off one Widowmine. Tries to get the fadeaway shot at the Stalker, but actually mistimes it. Oh no. The damage this tank is doing. Finally gets one. But the next army is on the way across. +1. He is done. Combat shield isn't there yet, which is the only really saving grace here. Oh, the Marines! Hiding in the fancy vision blockers near the watchtower. The disco smoke, or whatever that is. It looks like that thing, you know, in like Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, when Luke fights Darth Vader. And then there's like the lights. Well, somewhat similar to that. And also, oh, spotting the sneaky box there. The reptile box that is watching on the map. I'm all over the place on this cast. I don't even know what I'm trying to focus on. But Gumiho does. He's trying to lay down the win here. Recall. Astrea has to go all the way back to his natural. He cannot afford to give up another third. But the game itself is in jeopardy right now. As Gumiho is tearing apart anything thrown at him, including another 8 probes. Link Stalkers microing back. Army kind of getting spread out between both sides, but it appears that Gumiho has enough DPS to handle either of them. He ties it up. 1-1. Okay. Well, overall, that game, I don't even really know where it went wrong for Astrea. The Oracle, well, the Oracle didn't really do anything. He went for the Stargate opener, kind of like, it's not dissimilar to Gumiho's Banshee opener in Game 1. It wasn't that it did horribly. It's just it didn't do much. It just kind of petered out immediately and ended up not really being worth the investment, I feel. Even though he ended up getting some revelations and all that. You do give up some time and space. And potentially some Blink Stalkers before they move out. Gumiho handling it well. Setting up a solid 2-base timing. And using it to tee up the game-ending attack. Overall, Gumiho showing that he's not going to just roll over for the silly American. There's only been rare times in the history of StarCraft 2 where a true American player can claim to be competitive at that top level. And while Neeb may have returned after completing StarCraft 2, actually, Neeb went back to school, though still competing sometimes in small events. That's what he's focused on now. That's a crazy move to me. Though, obviously, from my perspective, I can't imagine. But clearly, with someone with the foresight of Neeb, understands how to expand his horizons. Astrea has stepped in, though. Another American Protoss, giving us hope. Still not quite at that bleeding edge. Still competitive with pretty much everyone out there. But even in this matchup, Astrea versus Gumiho, maybe 50-50? I think I'd give Gumiho just the slight edge overall when these two face off. But of course, today might start to shift the needle on that opinion. Factory on the way. Another 2-gas-ish opener from Gumiho. He takes a second gas and mines enough in order to get the factory. But once that's started, you pull off a gas in order to get enough minerals for the command center. Eventually use both the gases, but the intent being to kind of maximize both things. Twilight Council on the way. Does the grenade thing work there? I never did. The little Reaper grenade to bounce over the corner. I think the buildings have to be laid out in a certain way, and also you have to do a few like meditation exercises And also pray to RNGesus, because even Maru doesn't consistently do the Reaper grenade jump thing. And also, another downside is, well,
I have met the enemy.
You have met the... No, I thought that was a good thing. Well, apparently for the Adept it wasn't. The Twilight Council was far enough back. I do like this attention to detail from Astrea. The Reaper did not have vision for it. A lot of players get a little lazy and just slap down their tech building really wherever it feels convenient. But denying that extra little bit of vision, keeping that big question mark of whether it's a Stargate or a Twilight, which covers about 95% of openers, is very important in just making it a little easier as time goes on to get damage done or zone out the Terran. So Astrea still has that question mark. It's going to become clear quite soon that Blink is the choice, but I assume there's a Widow Mine hiding somewhere. Is there a Widow Mine on this screen? I don't want to be wrong again. Oh god, there is. Oh, okay. I'm not camping out, just hanging out with the Marines. The Marines, it's like that friend, that family friend. It's like, you guys ought to work together, alright? You should get along. Marines don't trust the Widow Mines. Because the Widow Mines have a tendency, you know, also hit them. The Widow Mines don't care, though. Widow Mines are the kind of guys who would, like, they'd go to McDonald's, and they wouldn't throw their stuff in the trash. They just leave it on the table. Alright? Like, they'll pick up after us. That's how Widow Mines are. That's how I feel about Widow Mines. It's like, just put it in the trash, bro. It's like 2 feet away. Nah. What are they paying them for? Okay. Anyways, Widow Mines. 3 more kills. 5 probes in total. Though does lose the medevac and the mines. Astrea, no third nexus quite yet. Instead focused a lot more on unit production here. Gumiho setting up to defend the Blink Stalkers, a clear bulwark against them, a bunker, alongside the siege tank. Even had to drop a supply depot there. But, alright. Warp Prism on the other side. Oh, the grenade bounces the Adepts out of the way, though decides not to use it. Gumiho coming down to the third base and finding no third base, which means he's in your base, Gumiho. The Blink Stalkers and the Ghetto Blink with the Prism here. Goes straight for the Raven. Auto turret going to be very important to add any sort of DPS, but Astrea just blinks in, and he gets out just as quick. One of the slickest blink... There's no way... Wait. Okay, I thought I was reading that wrong. No. Astrea shot his own Stalker. Gumiho only ends up killing 2 probes, and that's with another Raven's auto turret, which he sent to the back. And he's back in for more. Astrea just dipping in and out now, and shaking those Blink Stalkers all about. Siege tank lands a hit, adding a lot of damage. Oh, the Warp Prism. Now the Blink Stalkers are either here to stay. Well, if they recall, it'll be trouble, but if they stay, it'll be double. We'll have to see. 16 SCVs now. Oh, wow, that was one of the worst recalls I've ever seen. Okay, so how much trouble is it if he does both? Poorly. Oh, that was not good. Wow. Oh, that was a Grandmaster tier bungle right there. Oh, he truly bungled that one. Oh, he tried to blink into the recall. I don't actually know what happened, but he ends up failing to recall 3 Stalkers, and the other ones just kind of wander apart. So... Well... So that takes what was quite a successful and nearly game-ending Blink attack, and ends it a lot closer. That Stalker. Nice shoulder width legs there. Make sure to block out the Hellions. Nicely done. But, yeah, certainly not the ideal outcome. I was complimenting the Blink micro so much, too. You knew it had to go wrong. He was cursed. Oh my, how many Stalkers? 10 Stalkers. You know, I really felt like it was worse than that. felt worse than 10 Stalkers. That's still a lot of resources, but he did kill a lot of SCVs. So. Gumiho not in a particularly comfortable position. And a few Stalkers coming with the Prism for more. It's 5 of them. Oh my god. Freddy! Get in the Prism! Oh my, how many times? Third command center finishing up for Gumiho. Astrea's already got his third base up and running. 53 probes. Adding 3 at a time. Double medevac drop headed out though. Not exactly the ideal placement for it. Stalker's waiting for it. Looking for the Raven. Doesn't quite get it. Needs one more hit. Blink Stalker's wandering down. Bit of a hectic game now. Storm is on the way. Oh god, that Prism easily one hit away. The Storm Prism, what a crazy... No, Jimmy, I already said that. Anyways, so Storm is forecast for our future. Siege tanks. Gumiho. +1 finishing. He's already got stim, of course. Combat shield as well. Observer taken out, but here come the storms! Oh my! He goes back into the prism and immediately dies, but he softens up the army. They're under the weather, if you would. Anti-armor missile, though. How the turntables turn. As Astrea is forced back. Though that fight, a resounding... Oh, okay. But Astrea, he kills his own Templar, I assume with the storms. He may have killed it... that Templar may have killed itself with storm. Better than dying to the filthy Terrans. But the storm, I think, went from, much like the blink attack, it went from a resounding success to a Pyrrhic victory. As he revealed it, killed a lot of the Marines, but doesn't finish off. In fact, the Raven is still intact and is being repaired, or has been repaired a bit. Not entirely for some reason, but a bit. Budget cuts, really. Well, a Marine trying to outrun Astrea. How many gates? 8 gateways. Adding on a 5th Nexus. Just some ridiculous expansion speeds here from Astrea. He's really been... he plays a little like a Zerg with his Zealotlings. And Gumiho finding himself in a precarious position. Well, I say that, but then this army is looking pretty devastating. Gets the Observer as well. The one thing Gumiho doesn't have, he doesn't have 2-2 on the way. He doesn't, that's about it. That's most of it. He has ghosts, he has tanks. Here comes Gumiho. Astrea setting up for a counterattack. I assume he has Templar in the Prism. No, he's coming back. He sees this. At the front. Feedback on the Raven. EMP on another Templar. So that won't be too huge of an issue, but Astrea is swinging in from the north side. Looking for feedbacks onto the Ghost. Shield battery overcharge. Astrea at the back, though, setting up the alley-oop with a massive storm on the ramp and washing away the Terran army. Wow, says Gumiho. Yeah, wow. GG. Oh, an absolutely devastating attack, annihilating the entire army. Just melting it under the psionic storms. Astrea. Wow. I haven't seen storms that good since hurricane season. Category 5 destruction. Just perfect timing. He baited him into the right position just so masterfully. And, well, he took quite advantage. So, wow. Okay. You see, there you go. Terrans are going to point to this moment. All right. For every game where ghosts seem good, we can reference that exact moment and say, look, One time, in one place, the storms struck home. So High Templar should start with only 25 energy. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, that puts us straight. Jimmy, can we go to the game? That's not that sad. We just ended the series. Gumiho just forfeited.
Your probes are under attack.
Astrea using the Diva announcer. Let's see what Gumiho's up to. Gonna be a bit unless that
Command center upgrade
default. Though I'm not sure what server we're playing on because sometimes players will not reset their announcer packs. Though I have my recommendations on which ones you should use. All right, Astrea retreats before the Reaper can hunt down the probe. Probe? Gonna set up for a Spylon location, I think. Or maybe just the most disgustingly fast third. There's a Stargate on the way. Wait, did the Reaper see it? No. There is no Reaper wall. This map is very hard to Reaper wall on. Reaper coming around. Oh, he still didn't see it. Astrea put it in the most beautiful... He actually did Reaper wall. Just in that exact location. Was that a Marauder I heard? I don't know why. Like, am I still on the Gumiho? What? A Marauder? What is this? A Marauder rush? This is crazy. So, if Astrea went blank, well, this would be horrible. But he didn't. He went for the Stargate, which Gumiho doesn't know about. So, even Phoenixes against Marauders. I mean, Marauders, tilt me over. Tilt me over. Let me shoot up at him. So it'll just come back down on your head. Oh, this is... He doesn't have concussive. He's doing a Marauder stim rush. What is this madness? Now, honestly, this would be very cool. Unfortunately, though, Gumiho's going to come in. Yeah, I think he has Phoenix... Well, okay, set that man down. What? Two brothers in the Protoss base killing probes. All right, not one of them lifted. The other killed by No, wait. Okay. Oh my! He drops him into the middle of the probes. You know, what was it? What was that? What is this? You can't just build two Marauders and walk them across the map. What? Well. Apparently you can. I don't think that was worth it. But if it had been Blink, and there was just a couple Stalkers there, it easily could have been a disaster for Astrea. He very likely would have lost a Stalker or two at least. And some probes. But the Phoenixes are kind of one of the hardest counters to Gumiho's cheeky Marauder play there. I have no idea what he's... I do like the creativity, but I'm still kind of questioning the thought process, especially since he didn't even get concussive. It was stim. Oh, it's just gonna be straight up Bile Medivacs. Five more gates on the way. It's a Star Charge build for Astrea. I love how he's setting up these bases. Look at this. That is quite Nartosis pylon, but good luck. Honestly, if this pylon goes down, Astrea's probably lost the game anyways. So, just, SimCity players know what I'm talking about. Or, I guess it's City Skylines now. Whatever happened to SimCity? I remember playing that on a beige computer. I think it was like SimCity 2000 or something, but either way, whatever happened to those sim games? They probably still, well, not the Sims. And I know what happened to that one. Maybe I'm just not paying attention. Either way. Astrea, on the other hand, is paying complete attention to the danger this army poses. Charge lots being warped in, but the gateways are fully operational. And warp-ins are complete. Guardian shield here, Astrea collapses on the army. The charge lot slicing apart the Marines. The Phoenixes cutting the medevacs out of the sky. And over, oh my god, just slaughtering each of those units. Wow. A decisive victory for Astrea here, which could very easily lead to a decisive victory in this series. How did a Marine get in here? Going for the Great Pylon that could undercut Astrea's entire build. And it really could, but don't do it. Don't do it. He has the high ground, Astrea. It's not worth it. Don't try to break down this. Just tech up. Oh my god. You know he's looking at it. He's thinking about it. But Astrea's played such a patient series. He's been doing so well. In fact, if you wait long enough, Gumiho may just move out for you. So Gumiho, no longer tucked into his base. He doesn't want to get caught and just battered down. He's trying to work with what he has, which is those 1-1 Marines and Marauders. It is an upgrade advantage, but here comes Astrea swinging in. No, the door is shut in the face of the Zealots, but there's nothing behind it. Well, the SCVs are pulled up. Wow. Can't even kill a Marauder in a lift. That armor upgrade, pretty good. Getting some of the mines, though. But the other mines will trigger from behind the barracks. Oh, well hidden. Does he have an armory? He does, so no easy way to deal with it. Gotta be a little careful here. Sends out a single medevac. Gumiho not dead yet. No, it's certainly not easy from here. Astrea has near perfect map vision, whereas Gumiho, the map is dark and full of Protoss. He's trying to spread those mines out, but Astrea catches one, looking for the second. There's still mines back there, not a... Oh, definitely would have lost at least one Phoenix. The Zealots are coming in, but the door is shut. Okay, this is starting to become an issue. Like, a cool idea to contain him, but Gumiho at this point has about equal army supply with better upgrades, so Astrea is at risk of losing his lead here. And in fact, I may even argue... No, he hasn't quite lost it. He has the economy. He's got a fourth base. He's now getting the upgrades in double Colossus. But Gumiho, the Colossus aren't out yet. Well, oh my, okay, I don't, can somebody, what was, did he just recall Zealots to the main? I have no idea. He's like, I don't know what he's doing with the recalls, but he only got 4 of the Zealots, which is probably not enough. And also there's no drop, but instead the entire Terran army, oh no. He's gonna lose the 4th Nexus. The damage output of the Bio army is absolutely devastating. The scan will spot one of the Colossi, 2 of them indeed. +1 armor is done. Phoenix is trying to come in. The Sentry, well, is also out here. Charge lots on the other side. Astrea might be getting a little too fancy for his own good. As right now, he's tried to hit him from so many different angles. Like, last game was so great, but... Oh, the Widow Mines. Oh, he picks it up just in time. The army's chasing down the Widow Mine drop. He's desperate to make sure they don't burrow, but he's not paying attention! No! The probes! There's a 7 probes. He does have an observer here. The charge lot is still slicing across. Gumiho still trying to keep it together. He doesn't... Well, it's 47 to 46 workers. Astrea losing the 4th base. And some of his probes here. Not ideal, to say the least. Blink Stalkers catch a medevac, so... Gumiho's still in a tough position. But Astrea... And he doesn't have extended thermal lance on those Colossi, so they do have to get pretty close in order to make the difference here. EMP on the Colossi. Ghost comes up and wipes out half the effective HP. Another Colossus is stepping up. The Vikings trying to move forward. They're still... Oh, the Marauders just knocked down a Colossus. The second one joins, though. He target fires onto the Marines. just burning through. And the Colossi are well protected by a massive meat shield of Zealots. The War Prism will be able to warp in. Gumiho baited past the rocks, caught between a rock and a hard place. Most of the Marines and many of the medevacs will die. And Gumiho yet again knocked down in supply. Astrea, still no... Oh, he gets thermal in, so you may have noticed. Almost certainly did, as clearly this is a tough position. Those Colossi are getting dangerously close to getting picked off. Astrea has not built any more probes. He's really trying to make this out. He's trying to draw out... Oh, does he have an observer? He brought an observer up. Ghost leading the charge. SCV is pre-pulled. Astrea realizing, okay, I can see back. He's building probes again. Really trying to lean on Gumiho here. Gumiho yet to break. Though it's been very close. Observers going in and out of surveillance mode over there. Phoenix is still intact. He hasn't built any more. I don't think he will after these ones eventually stray to their deaths. Zealots split against the mines. +2 is done. For both sides. +2, +1 are the upgrades on the ground. Across the board. Astrea's fallen back. It is now building the double Ds of destruction. Disruptors. Dark Templar. Gumiho scans the... Is that the main command center headed out? Indeed it is. Gumiho has not built SCVs for a while. He's been relying on a mule-based economy. He's going to open up the rocks that plagued him before. How many Vikings? 0, which is not very many. The ghosts are being added on as well. So Gumiho has held on strongly, but Astrea has decided to sit back and just hang out for a while. He's gotten a 5th Nexus. He's got a bunch of Zealots ready for a counterattack. Another observer taken down, and Gumiho, he's at 120 to 100 army supply. It's gonna come down to the Raptors. Are the Raptors able to land? And is it an open field fight, or is he gonna be distracted by a huge amount of charge slots? Is that another forge? Did he only have one to start? He's now finished up a second forge. DT Blink is on the way. Armies just kind of wander into each other over on the right flank. EMP fires a volley. Big hits. Just slamming directly into Gumiho here. A better split the second time around, but the Disruptors are finding the mark. And Gumiho losing a huge chunk of his supply. Well, Widow Mines will zone out the Zealots at the natural. Gumiho, though, cannot afford that again. He wandered into the Raptors. Next time he won't be wandering out, but EMP on the Nexus in order to prevent the recall. Kills one of them. Just jumping in as Astrea. Fires a volley. Looking for more. Another salvo. And the connections are all right. He's got to be careful not to hit too many of his own Zealots. But the Colossi, the Robo-Bay units here are so dangerous. Gumiho fighting. Another shot. The command center itself is being targeted by the Stalkers, but Gumiho is sprinting in towards the natural. The triple Robo-Raptor production continues at the 3rd. Zealots into the natural of Gumiho. We're going into a hectic base trade here. Disruptors just wandering into the 3rd as well. Every base is vulnerable. How did Gumiho found another army? Did he drop here? How did this happen? Meanwhile, almost nothing back at home for Gumiho, but almost... Disruptors just flying by. Gumiho manages to avoid another shot. 17 to 48 workers. A lull in the action here. The command center will burn! A single SCV repairing! That's the only SCV really hit the base besides the ones on the refineries. But disruptor shots. Disruptors themselves. Oh, he has to fire another shot. The SCV repairing gets taken out. The Terran army is... The Terran army is still very capable. There's 0 minerals right now for Gumiho. He couldn't have repaired if he wanted to. He is completely flat broke. The SCVs are going with the army. It might be time to lift the rest of the buildings. Astrea is still mining, and there's still disruptors on the field. There's a very limited time here. EMPs, try to target, he's done it! Wait! Oh, he misses with the last one! He recalls! Seconds before, disruptors popping out, but it's time! Fire the broadside! Where are the ruptor shots? Here they come! And Gumiho obliterated on the ground, knocked out of the series. Astrea recalls back, finally finds the key and manages to get his entire army in it. But what a dramatic conclusion. The American Protoss powers through. Gumiho definitely made a series of it, but Astrea, with some beautiful plays and some dramatic Protoss. What a series. Well, I'm excited. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're looking forward to more Astrea in the future. Honestly, he plays like he's definitely trying to push the envelope the way he plays. It is a dangerous method, as it's a... If you fail in any attacks, your army can just crumble, and that unit composition you spent so long building falls apart. But Astrea is towing that line, and Gumiho just not able to keep up. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you next time. What are we at? 1,038? 9? Oh my. Come on. Have it come inside. We'll just round. Why are we round? And 1,040 likes. I'll cast another series tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck. Have fun. I'll see you next time. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.